Beth Macy, Factory Man: How One Furniture Maker Battled Offshoring, Stayed Local, and Helped Save an American Town. Discover the captivating story of how an American town and its furniture industry survived the challenges. Presented by Offshoring and Factory Man by Beth Macy. This book summary takes you on a journey through the rise of American furniture makers during the Industrial Revolution, their struggle with unfair foreign competition, and how companies like John Bassett fought against offshoring to preserve local jobs. Gain a deeper understanding of the complex dynamics between American and Asian manufacturers, the impact of globalization on local economies, and the importance of staying true to a company's values and mission.
The furniture boom and labor. The early 1900s, following the Industrial Revolution, saw a surge in technology and manufacturing, setting the stage for traditional industries like furniture making to flourish. As people moved to urban areas for factory work, the demand for mass-produced furniture skyrocketed. Railway networks enabled nationwide distribution, allowing pioneers like John Bassett Sr. to profit greatly from this economic landscape. By utilizing his family's resources and the cheap labor available at the time, Bassett was able to produce bedroom furniture at low costs. Despite the unfair wages, factory jobs were more appealing than working in fields or mines. Importantly, the Bassett factory was one of the few that hired African American workers during a time of rampant discrimination, further contributing to their cost advantage over their competitors. Rise of Asian furniture industry. During the early 20th century, American furniture makers such as Bassett's dominated their domestic market. However, as manufacturing costs in America rose due to regulatory measures, companies began offshoring to Asia where labor was cheaper and regulations were laxer. By the late 1970s, small Asian furniture pieces surfaced in the U.S. market, and gradually, American manufacturers started acquiring parts or finished products from Asia. Soon, Asian factories positioned themselves as direct competitors to American companies, with Larry Moe's Hong Kong factory becoming the fourth largest furniture maker globally within a decade. The entrance of China into the World Trade Organization in 2001 further intensified the competition, with Chinese furniture exports skyrocketing by 121% within 2 years. Temptation of lower prices. Asian companies entered the American market offering affordable products, which consumers readily embraced despite initial concerns about quality and customer service. Attractive pricing overshadowed American-made goods, shaping an acceptance of the disposability of less expensive furniture. By 1998, a third of wooden furniture sold in the U.S. was imported, as American companies also shifted production overseas to benefit from reduced labor costs. But beneath the appeal of lower costs, offshoring and importing carried hidden consequences for all parties involved. Asian imports, and unfair competition. American companies are struggling to compete with Asian imports due to an unfair competition landscape. These imports trigger a price war that drives many domestic businesses towards importing or out of business. Companies such as Kincaid Furniture found themselves on the losing side due to the massive price differences between their products and imported counterparts. A key factor behind this disparity is the Chinese government's support for their manufacturing sector, providing subsidies that keep their businesses profitable while selling at extremely low prices. This uneven playing field puts American companies at a disadvantage, even when they move production offshore, as they still have to maintain their financial stability without similar governmental assistance. The struggles of American factory workers. American manufacturers face intense competition from foreign imports, resulting in numerous factory closures and leaving American factory workers jobless. Since China's entry into the World Trade Organization in 2001, 63,300 American factories shut their doors, displacing 5 million factory workers. Most of these displaced workers struggle to find new jobs, as their skill sets do not transfer easily across industries. However, it's not all doom and gloom. With the right support and strategies, American factories can bounce back. The growing competition of foreign imports has taken its toll on American manufacturing, impacting factory workers the most. As American companies increasingly offshore aspects of production, a large number of American factory workers find themselves jobless, with the plight of those who toil in the factories often overshadowed by discussions revolving around management and boardrooms. The impact on the American furniture industry exemplifies this issue, as one after another, local plants are forced to close down, leaving thousands of factory workers without jobs. In reality, their prospects of finding new employment following these closures are bleak. For many workers who've dedicated their lives to the factory, making the leap into another industry is challenging, as they often lack the skills, self-confidence, or resources to seek alternative work. While workforce retraining programs provide opportunities for individuals to learn new trades, most former factory employees don't avail these chances. With bills to pay and families to support, many aging workers instead feel compelled to cobble together a living through multiple part-time jobs, struggling to make ends meet. Nonetheless, it's not all doom and gloom for the American manufacturing sector. The notion that factories are destined to fail in the face of globalization isn't necessarily true. By embracing innovative strategies and offering support to the workforce, there is hope for American factories to regain their strength and competitiveness in the global market. Battling unfair trade practices. Unfair competition, such as factory closures and rampant unemployment due to illegal trade practices, is both immoral and in violation of World Trade Organization (WTO) standards. Specifically, dumping, when a country intentionally sets prices lower than production costs or its local market to force rival businesses to close, is prohibited. To deter such practices, the WTO offers legal protection for domestic industries subjected to artificial pricing. When companies can prove they have been adversely affected by unfair trade practices, they may even be eligible for government aid. Coupled with legislations like the Continued Dumping and Subsidy Act of 2000, which fines the worst offenders and redirects the collected fees to the harmed businesses, American enterprises have substantial support against cheap foreign imports. Overcoming cheap import battles. It may seem challenging for American companies to challenge foreign dumping practices, but it isn't impossible, as demonstrated by John Bassett III, who successfully rallied support to take legal action against China's furniture industry. By persistently working against low-cost imports, companies can explore creative solutions, revamp outdated practices, and potentially regain competitiveness, all without necessarily moving offshore. Imagine you're an American company struggling to compete with a flood of cheap imports. Many would think the obvious solution is either to join the low-cost parade or take the fight to the courtroom. However, the complexities of initiating an investigation can discourage businesses from going the legal route. To start, businesses must gather petitions from 51% of the industry, and also invest in research and legal fees. Nonetheless, when push comes to shove, it's worth exploring all available options to keep business thriving. This determination can be seen in the story of John Bassett III, who was relentless in his efforts to pursue legal action against China's furniture industry. Despite facing mockery and canceled business deals, Bassett dedicated substantial time and energy to mobilize support for his cause, believing firmly in the importance of preserving American jobs. After nearly a year of gathering support, Bassett secured backing from 57% of remaining American furniture producers. Consequently, the Department of Commerce initiated an investigation, later confirming Chinese factories' dumping practices. Subsequently, Bassett and his co-petitioners obtained the right to collect duties imposed on significant dumpers. Bassett's story showcases how perseverance in the face of adversities can still yield fruitful results for businesses. By pushing against seemingly insurmountable odds, businesses can not only keep their operations onshore, but also find imaginative ways to stave off the influx of cheap imports. In Bassett's case, he was able to use the collected duties to modernize his plants, thereby increasing efficiency and ultimately regaining a competitive edge. Beyond profits, company values. Business is about more than just making money, it encompasses delivering value and maintaining a commitment to workers and the community. John Bassett III demonstrated this when he decided to go against the trend of offshoring production in the furniture manufacturing industry. Since the 1980s, numerous factories in the U.S. closed and relocated to Asia in pursuit of higher profits. But, is a product truly American when everything, from production to materials, is sourced overseas? It's essential to recognize that businesses have a responsibility towards their workers and their community. Companies built on tradition and family, like the Bassett's enterprise, which began in 1902, have an even greater obligation. Despite family disagreements in the past, John D. Bassett III still felt connected to his workers and fought to keep their jobs. His dedication and tenacity ultimately saved 700 jobs in Galax, Virginia, showcasing the importance of preserving company values and prioritizing responsibilities beyond just profit maximization.
The inspiring story of John D. Bassett III, as told in A Factory Man, demonstrates the power of resilience, innovation, and determination in overcoming the challenges of globalization and preserving American jobs. Despite facing intense competition from Asian manufacturers and mounting pressures to offshore, John and others like him managed to save local factories and protect their workers. By taking advantage of legal avenues to tackle unfair competition and staying committed to their company's values, these leaders found success. The tale serves as a powerful reminder that businesses are not just there to generate profits. They deliver value and have a duty to serve their communities and uphold long-held traditions.